Hello there. Please, this is a demonstration video of the Java-based text editor application, also known as Text Editor MDI. Please, this project was undertaken by me, Abraham C. Enemia, ID number ADS 14A00184Y, and my partner Khadijatu Dit Antu Kulibali, ID number ADS 15A00117Y. As at the time of making this video, my partner could not be available. This is as a result of a few issues that she had to sort out back in her home country of Mali. Due to this, I will be the one taking you through this demonstration video. Please, before I begin, I would like to say what Text Editor MDI is very briefly. Please, Text Editor MDI is a free, simple, and efficient text editor application that responds to the textual needs of both the programmer and the ordinary user. Now, this application has been compiled together in a compressed zip file known as dist. Now, when this dist file is extracted, you are going to get this folder. Please, when you open up this folder, you will have all of the various subfolders and files that are needed to launch this application. Right. Please, before I go ahead to launch, I'd like to talk about the system requirements. Please, you will need a Windows operating system from Windows XP all the way up to Windows 10. You will need 2 GB of RAM, 155 MB of free disk space. You also need a resolution of 1024 by 768 or higher. You also need a Java runtime environment 1.7 or higher. Now, if you don't have that, please, when you open up the dist folder and you go to the prerequisite subfolder, you will have the runtime environment provided. Okay. Now, please, let's go ahead and launch. Please, to launch the application, all you need to do is to double click on this file, splash.jar, and you are ready to go. Besides double clicking on this folder, for convenience, you can create a shortcut on your desktop or on your taskbar so that you can easily start up or launch this application. Please, I will go ahead and start it up directly from my dist folder. So I will double click, and here we have our splash screen, Text Editor MDI. And now we have the application fully loaded onto the screen. Please, Text Editor MDI was built to be a multi-document interface. In fact, that is what MDI stands for, multi-document interface, wherein you have a main window or a parent window that is responsible for managing a number of child windows. So here we have our main window or parent window. Now it is divided into a number of components. Please, we have our menu bar, which has the file menu, the format menu, the view menu, the settings menu, the window menu, and the help menu. Beneath that, we also have our toolbar that has these controls or commands: new, open, fonts, margins, colors, snippets, magnifier, zoom, and ruler. And then on the status bar, we have our window count followed by our date and time. Please, I would like to introduce you to the child window. so we can see what it looks like. So please, I'll go ahead and click on the new command. I'll maximize this. Okay, now in the child window you have three main components that you work with. Please, you have the fold panel, you have the pad in the middle, and at the bottom you have your status bar. Please, in the fold panel you have two toolbars you work with. You have on the top the standard toolbar, and you have at the bottom the formatting toolbar. Please, on the standard toolbar you have commands or controls like undo, redo, save, save as, print, preview, print options, cut, copy, paste, select or delete, word wrap, case, show or hide date, show or hide time. And on the formatting toolbar you have commands or controls like the line number, the show or hide go to, the leap, the find and replace, hook fonts, hook margins, hook colors, the highlighter, the watermark, the spell checker, the narrator, the convert to PDF, and finally show or hide syntax. Please, the fold panel, as the name suggests, can be folded and unfolded. How do you fold? You just click right here and it folds. When you click back, it unfolds. Please, as at this moment, I will fold it. And on the center we have our pad. This is where you can provide the content for your code and for your notes, your minutes, your memos, and so on. And then we have our status bar right here at the bottom, where we have commands or controls like the lock, the peg, the file info, the caps, the num, and the scroll. Then you also have the show or hide shade, we have the text mode, and then we have our live word count, and then we also have our live selection count. Right. Now that we have gotten to know our main or parent window and also our child window, please, I would like us to take a look at the various features of this application. Please, you have the ability to create and open a variety of file formats. Please, every file that you create is represented as a child window, and every file that you open is also represented in a similar manner. So here I've just created for myself a child window, which is an empty file that is expecting content from me. I can go ahead and create another window by just going to open, browsing to a location that has a file that I'm looking for, courses. I click on open and I have this file opened up. This is a text file. You can do the same for all other file formats that are available. Please, if you look through this list under the files of type, you'll find that we have a long list of file formats that you can work with, ranging from action script files to ADA files to Docker, Lua, XML, VB, Windows Batch, and so on. Please, I would like to open an XML file. Please, this is what our XML file looks like, right? So that was for the first one. Please, let's take a look at the second one. Autocomplete, syntax highlight, and code folding for supported languages. Please, I'll go ahead and use this first child. Please, to demonstrate how the autocomplete, syntax highlight, and code folding works, we need to come over to the formatting toolbar under the fold panel, click on show or hide syntax, where we'll be provided a combo box with a whole list of languages provided. We have languages from ActionScript all the way down to XML. Please, for this demonstration, I will use Java. and I will create a very simple class that says hello world. Now you find that the moment I start typing, you have the autocomplete kicking in, providing us with the various suggestions for the content that we'll provide. And you also find that as I provided a curly brace open and I pressed enter, I received a completion of the curly brace. Let me go for my public static void main. And you also find that when I provided my parentheses, I got a completion for that as well. Let's go for a shortcut here. I have a shortcut sys out. I'll double click on that and I'm good to go. And you also realize that I also have a completion for my double quotes. So please, that is how the autocomplete works with you. Now let's take a look at the syntax highlight. With the syntax highlight, we are looking at the various keywords being highlighted. So you find that keywords like public, class, static, void, they were all highlighted. And you also have system, which is a keyword also given a highlight but displayed in a different color, right? So that is the syntax highlight. Now let's take a look at the code folding. Please, if you will take a look at the left hand side right here, you find that we have a number of folds that have appeared. Please let me go over to the formatting toolbar and turn on the line number so we can see the number of lines we've created. Please, we have 6 lines of code as at now. Now I can fold this part of the code by clicking here. When I put my mouse on it, I have a preview of the code that has been folded. If I go ahead and I fold the one on top as well, and I put my mouse on it, I get a preview of all of the various pieces of code that I have written. Okay, so please, that is for the code folding. Now I mentioned that they are for supported languages, and please, the languages are mentioned here. Like I said, from ActionScript all the way down to XML. Right. Please, let's move on to the next point. Multi-language spell checking in English, French, Spanish, German, and Italian. Please, to help me with this, I will create a new file and I will go to, please let me maximize. I will go to the formatting toolbar and I will click on my spell checker. Now it has been set to Italian. Please, I'll switch it over to English so that when I type, the system can help me with corrections. So let's say hello world. I've made a mistake with the world. My name is Harriet. Okay, now world is wrong. You find that we have the zigzag underline for this particular word. It ought to be world, but I made a mistake with the spelling. If I right click on it, you find that I'm giving a number of suggestions regarding the word, and you find that world has been given to me here. So I'll just click on it and instantly my correction is made. Please, you can do a similar thing for the other languages as well. You can do a similar thing for French. Please, if I were to click on French, it will immediately highlight those words that it feels ought to be corrected. For instance, world, in the French language, we don't have world. If I right click on it, it is giving me an opportunity to add it to the system dictionary, because world is not a valid word in Spanish, forgive me, in French. For my, the same. For name, the same. For is, you find that you have a number of suggestions. You can also add to dictionary. And for Harriet, the same. You have the suggestions and you also have the add to dictionary. Right. Please, this same thing can be used across for all the other languages, where if you provide content and you have the zigzag underline, you can immediately right click on that word and either work with the various suggestions that are there, or you can in this case add to dictionary. Please let's take a look at multi-language text-to-speech in English, French, German and Italian. Please, for this demonstration I will use this same window. I will turn off the spell checker and I will turn on the narrator. Please, for this demonstration I will use the English language and I will go for a mode of selection where I am required to highlight the content that has been provided, and here I will opt for a male voice, and if I'm ready to go I just click on the narrate button right here. So please, I will do that right now. The moment you click on narrate, it takes a few moments for the recital to be initialized so that you can have your work brought back to you. You can see it says pending and now it has stopped, meaning that the recital has been generated and it is complete. Please, if I click on play, I will have an instant recital of what is there. I can repeat it.
Hello world, my name is Harriet.
Okay. Please, you can do a similar thing for all the other languages. I'd like for us to do one for German. I will highlight all of this, narrate, okay. Okay, you can do the same for all the other languages, for French, German and Italian. Okay, now please, I'd like to talk about PDF conversion. But before I do that, I'd like to close off this file and also close off this file. I'll also close off this file as well, and I'll leave this one open. Now this is an XML file. I would like to quickly convert this to PDF. How do I do that? I'll come over to the formatting toolbar and click on convert to PDF, where I'll have the opportunity to provide a title, a subject, and keywords for the PDF that I'm about to create. So for the title, I'll call this products, and the subject I'll call this XML. The keywords I also call it XML. Now for the override margins, what happens is that you are instructing the system to ensure that the default margins that are set in the system, which are 5 points all round, will be applied. Please, if you turn it off, what you are saying is that the various margins that have been set on the pad is what will be applied. So as at this moment, I have not set margins for my pad, so I'll allow the system to override. Please, I'll click on convert, and I need to choose a location where it will be outputted to. So I'll go for my output, click on save. This file already exists, so I'll go ahead and overwrite it. I'll go ahead and open it by clicking on yes. Then I wait patiently for it to open. Okay, please, here we are with our XML file successfully converted to PDF for us. Please, you can do a similar thing with any other file that you want, with any other file that you wish, with any other file that you are comfortable with. Okay, please, let's look at the next one, which is snippets creation and modification. Please, for this, I will close off this window and create another child window. Go over to snippets under the toolbar of the parent window, and in the snippets window, you have a number of categories, okay, and under each category you have a number of files that are provided. So if I were to take C#, you have this file, C++, you have this file, and it goes on and on and on and on. Now suppose I want to work with HTML. The moment I click on HTML, I have a snippet for a simple web page. If I'd like to insert it, all I have to do is to click on the insert button right here, go over to the file, click once on the pad, and I have the snippet inserted. Please, this same thing can be done across for any of the snippets that you have available. Please, if you wish to create a new category, you just click on new, then you go over to rename so that you can provide it with a name. Let's say I will call this Ruby. And here you find that it's giving me a message that, sorry, category Ruby has no files. So what I'm going to do is to create a file for my Ruby category. So I'll click on new, and it says file1.txt. I will rename this. I will call this maybe Ruby snippet. Click on OK, and I am good to go. If I wish to provide the code for this Ruby snippet, I'll just click on this button right here, which is the edit snippet, and I can go ahead and type all the code that I wish to type. Please, when you are done, you click edit snippet, and instantly the Ruby snippet.txt is saved for you. Right. Please, if you are not comfortable with a category or with a file, you can go ahead and delete. For instance, if I'm not comfortable with this file, I can delete, where I'll have the choice to say yes or no. The same applies to the category as well. But for this demonstration, I will not delete it. Right. So please, that ends it for the demonstration of the text editor MDI application.